You know, starting your real estate career and as the Edie Waters, that wasn't what I had in mind. Actually, we owned some land as an investment with a family, and we decided that I was the only one not actually working, and we decided, oh, somebody needs to get their real estate license. So I went and got my real estate license. Then I placed it with a company, and then as paths of life take you, we realized that my husband and I didn't want to be married anymore. So I had to get really serious about a career. And I already loved real estate, and that drove me right into doing what I know and love best. And I just didn't know it at the time. So now, here we are. I started very small. I was just a single agent. In fact, I can remember making phone calls to people and actually sitting there and calling, and I'd go, hello, Edie Waters? Oh no, I'm Edie Waters. You're John. And of course the office roared because they could hear me because I was sitting in a pit, and it was very fun to have that experience. So I learned very quickly, did a lot of open houses, and just listened to those that had made the path ahead of me and followed that path. So at that time, I got really busy really fast. I liked what I was doing, and I had a passion and spirit, and I cared about people. And that was the thing that led me to finding someone that really changed the path of my career, and that's Miss Claudia. She's been with me a long time now. I think we're up to 23 or 24 years. But she actually had, little Allie was in a baby carrier, and Tyler was probably not more than 3 or 4. And she would come up to me and say, I need to help you. And so I'd listen, and I'd say, I can't afford you. She said, well, just take a few. And she'd bring those files back for me. And my files, you have to remember, at the time, it was all paper. I mean, we had pagers. We didn't have cell phones. You had to stop and make a call from a payphone to call your clients. It was just a different world then. But we had paper, and I had stacks of files with clients that I was working on. So she'd come and take them and make them straight and get them all organized for me. And at that point of time, she would come, take a few, I'd pay her. She'd come and take more, and I'd pay her. And then pretty soon she said, I think you need me full time, and I'm going to tell the other agent I'm quitting. And I went, oh my gosh. So before I knew it, I had a full-time employee, and it was amazing. I just took off even more then. From that led me to into new homes, which led me into doing new homes and resale. So I had to have a second person helping me. And then by that time, we started getting into a period that I really grew exponentially. I loved it. At that time, there wasn't such a thing as teams. I just needed help. And so I looked for people that were like me, that had a personality like me, that had passion and integrity and professionalism to join me to work together to accomplish a bigger goal. And so that's what that took us up until about 2008. So I had been through a couple of smaller recessions prior to that. Interest rates were high. We adapted to that. But then in 2008, the whole market just crashed for home sellers. It was a different time because the market crash was caused by too many families getting loans that probably shouldn't have one and doing adjustable rate mortgages, and then as those rates adjusted, they couldn't afford their home anymore. Predatory lenders, appraisers not doing a great, so all of those things happened, and it caused new homes, everything just to totally crash. So the group I had, we just dug deep. We started just making it the calls, doing what we needed to do, open houses, door knocking, anything that we could help clients with. And I entered the world into foreclosures and short sales. My favorite was the short sales because I could save families from a foreclosure on their credit report, and a short sale was only half as long that showed up on their credit report. So I got very, very good at short sales. Did I sit across this table from a lot of homeowners that cried? Yes. To have that realization that you were either going to lose your home or sell it and you were going to have to ask the bank for a short sale and work out a payment plan. It was a devastating thought. At night I would go home exhausted. I had given everything I had to that day, and I was just so grateful that I wasn't in that position and my family wasn't in that position. So that brought us through. I tell you, I was at the office every day at 7 a.m. I don't think I left many times till 8 o'clock at night. My boys were a little older, so they were able to take care of things. I'd run home after school and hear about their day and feed them, and then I'd run right back out to do the work, take them to soccer practice. I'd call from the lines at soccer practice or swim practice or whatever they were doing at the time, and then we did our homework. We had a very specific routine that we followed, and they learned that routine from that period of time. So when it was starting to come out of it, in about 2010, Miss Claudia and I kind of opened the door for our office and looked around our office, and it was nearly vacant. I had no idea so many agents had given up and left the business. And that's why we were surviving and getting market share, because everyone else was quitting. And so we looked at each other and we did it. We got through it, and things improved. And then I had the opportunity to go to, eventually that's what took me to Keller Williams.